Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the live virtual classes of ICAI. Today we're doing business correspondence and reporting, section 2, paper 2B, and the third and final discussion on Pressy writing. I welcome you all to the class. Please join. Good afternoon. Jyoti has joined. Good afternoon, all of you. Quickly join the session, and then today is the final class for the topic. This is the third session. I request all of you to please have any clarifications regarding your doubt, because it's an important question, a 4-mark question, a 5-mark question, a long answer. So be ready with your doubts, anything from the study material, anything from the last year's question papers, anything from the mock tests, whatever you want to ask, or if there is some doubt about how to write the title, how to take care of the shortened version, please feel free to ask. And then we'll be left with another topic which is also equally important, which is report writing. Okay? Good afternoon, Bhumika. Good afternoon, Priyanka. Nice to have you back in class. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes till I see many people joining, and then I'll start sharing my PPT. Till then, I would just request, I hope all of you are reading newspapers and you're keeping abreast with the news happening, because most of the reading comprehensions and topics which come for report writing and Pressy writing and summary writing and note making, mostly we prefer taking them from things around us. So if you have read about them, if you are in a good habit of reading, I think it's definitely going to be helpful. You should not be completely lost when you see a topic like that, because it's not a very difficult subject, the whole business correspondence and reporting subject. It's not that difficult, but yes, a good speed in writing and a well-aware person who has been in touch with newspapers and magazines, and you are a good avid reader about novels, I think that's going to be very helpful. That's the only consistent practice which you all need for this. Okay, so we have Kushagra. Good afternoon, Shiva, Licha. Good afternoon, Chandan. Good afternoon, Bala Sanjana. Good afternoon, Bhumika. Okay, so good. So we have quite a number of people. So we'll start. So anything from the last class which you think I have to discuss, or can I move ahead? However you feel it's comfortable. According to me, I had finished quite a lot in the last class because it was getting very repetitive. I've also discussed something from the study material. In spite of that, if you feel there is any doubt, please feel free to put that in the chat box. Good afternoon, Yashoda and Mansi. I didn't understand your question. What are you saying, Yashoda? Any near branch by ICAI, it is to attend in Chennai only. Well, about these inquiries, I think you can speak to the people in the office. That's a better way. I wouldn't be knowing how and where you have to attend your exams and your classes. I'm not the right person for that. So please write a mail to the concerned person, or maybe you can call at your nearby branch if you are in Chennai. You can call at the SIRC department, and then maybe somebody there should be able to help. Okay. You're welcome back, Shiva. Thank you so much. It's quite the opposite. You guys are welcoming me back. Okay, so if in the exams you can write the final answer, Abdul, you don't have to write any draft. There are no marks for draft. Even if you write the draft, we are not going to check it. It's just a practice which you're doing, but otherwise no extra marks for draft, and I don't want the draft also. So don't worry about that. Straight away give me the correct answer. Straight away tell me the answer. It's okay. Okay? Anything else? Any other concerns? How to write? How to take it forward? How to shorten it? Everything is okay, so can we move forward then? Fine, okay. Okay, so I'll just share my presentation for the day. Okay, so ma'am suggests some names of online newspapers. Online newspapers, actually, even Hindustan Times, even Times of India, all the national dailies are available online. So there aren't any specific online newspapers. All the good national dailies are available online also. Indian Express is there, Hindu is there, even regional language newspapers are there, Deccan Herald is there, Deccan Chronicle is there. So whatever is easily accessible and whatever is your comfort level with in terms of the language, in terms of the content given in the newspaper, you can choose that. But personally, I always suggest that if you really want to improve your vocabulary, if you really want to improve your language skills, then Hindu is a good paper. So please try and start reading Hindu. Though I won't say it's very easy to read Hindu. So maybe in the first go you will find it a little drab and dull, but with time, as you get used to the paper, you'll see the difference between the other newspapers and this, specifically for a good language, a good command over language. Otherwise, of course, in terms of news, I think all newspapers are fine, whatever suits you. Good afternoon, Hira. Bhumika, can we use phrases in our Pressy? What phrases would you mean? You mean some personal language? You can use. You are allowed to change the language in a Pressy. You are allowed to pick up one or two lines as it is from the given summary or from the given text. You can use one or two lines in the Pressy. You are allowed to use some words from the given text in your Pressy, as long as you are not writing everything same and as long as the meaning of what the author wants to convey is also being conveyed by your Pressy, I think everything is allowed. Okay, so don't worry about that. The only thing is you have to be very, very particular about language and size. That's two things which you really have to do. Okay. Okay. Fan, no. Is there a disturbance which you can feel, Priyanka? That's why you're asking me. Is there some kind of a noise which you're having? Because it's pretty okay at my end. Business standard is good, Priyanka. Yes, business standard is good. So I'll just 5 minutes I'll take before I actually start this discussion, because once I get into the subject, then it's difficult. Please read one newspaper. And a newspaper reading means you're reading it thoroughly from first to last page. That is something which I really want you to do. Second thing, if you haven't done much of practice in terms of reading good English, then I would say please take up some storybooks in English. Even if you take up something from the CBSE course book, that is okay. So take up a 10th grade, 11th grade, 9th grade English textbook and read the stories, because there are some very beautiful words and very beautiful phrases and idioms which have been used. Besides that, attend your vocabulary classes regularly. I'm sure you've had vocabulary classes where you're doing synonyms and antonyms, where you're doing phrases, idioms, proverbs, phrasal verbs. All this is there. Those classes will be very helpful. I'm sure you're having them, and there are other faculties for that. Otherwise, please watch a lot of English movies where you don't have those subtitles always, because when you see that something very good, like if you're seeing a documentary on BBC, if you're seeing something on the History Channel or the Nat Geo channel, that's where good English comes from. Watching general pulp fiction, watching Netflix series wouldn't help you improve your language. So there are two things you should be able to grasp. Okay, Priyanka, is it okay now? Because I don't hear any disturbance. Is it fine now? Okay. So if you really want to improve your language in terms of spoken English, you should practice more and more speaking. And if you want to improve your language in terms of writing, then you should actually sit down and write. So you can start by writing a diary. You can start by writing memos. You can start by writing letters. You can start by writing just a description of a day, if not a regular diary like every day. Maybe you just visit a place and you think you want to put your experience on paper. Please do that. So unless you get into that practice mode of speaking and writing, this subject will always remain an obstacle. And it's only practical knowledge which is going to help you, because I see you all as, speaking good English once you are there with us in the office. Once I see you as a prospective client, once Once you are a CA, you cannot play around with language. You need to be very smart, and your smartness comes from the way you present yourself, the way you speak, your command over language, your communication skills, your presentation, your outlook, your dressing. All this together makes you a smart person. So it's not just subject knowledge which you have to concentrate on. There are many things which you have to concentrate on. Okay? Great. Okay. So let's move on. So this is a small recap of what we have done last time. Pressy is a French word. Remember that. It simply means to shorten. And finally, the description should be very, very accurate and concise. So these are two things which I keep repeating, just put them in your mind. A Pressy cannot be long. A Pressy cannot play around ideas and thoughts because it has to restrict to whatever the author has said. The moment you start digressing, please remember there is a third point which says Pressy is concise, Pressy is accurate. The accuracy is something which we check always. If you are not accurate in your information, then you will straight away lose marks because accuracy is a very important factor for which marks are given. Okay? Okay, Priyanka. Diary entry, yes, you can try that. Why is BCR hard? Dhyanesh, what is the problem? What should I do? Then it will go easy to me. Well, see, BCR is a subject which is mostly about communication. Okay. Even if you talk about vocabulary, even if you talk about grammar, even if you talk about minutes of the meeting or report writing, writing emails, writing letters, or if you have a subject like communication, there is a chapter in your study material which is purely on communication, and you will definitely get questions based on that. So one thing which I always have been repeating since day one is read the study material thoroughly. Don't leave any topic unread, whether it is communication, whether it is report, whether it is examples, whether it is questions, samples, exercises, anything, because that is like, the Bible for you. That is something which you have to know in and out. Mostly all questions are focused from within the study material, especially when it comes to theoretical aspects of writing. Besides that, there are templates given, there are samples given. So any question which comes, like if there's a newspaper report, for example, or there is a formal report, or there is a Pressy, or there is writing an email, all of that is just by virtue of practice. So if you have done the study material reading, BCR becomes very easy. Okay, Dhyanesh? And secondly, please start reading something regularly. Language has to be very, very crisp when you speak and when you write. Okay, fine. No other doubts. So I'll just move on then. Now, this is something you might get a question on this. So you should be very much aware what is the difference between a Pressy and a summary. I'm not reading it through now because I've done the speaking part many times. I want all of you to have a look at the screen. I hope it's visible enough for you to read. So please tell me. If it is, then you can tell me, are you okay with this? And we've already discussed this once. Remember, this was there in the first day of my Pressy class. And then you also gave me some other ideas about the differences. So you can add them on. Okay. So you might get like write a short note on a Pressy. How is it different from a summary writing? A theory question is also possible. Or what is communication? How does Pressy bring in any significant changes in communication? So, the way the questions are formed, there are multiple ways. I will not be able to tell you the ways because I can just share a couple of examples. Okay, last time question paper, there was a question on diagonal communication. There was a question on vertical network. All that is there in your study material. But the problem is, if you don't pay attention to the theory part, then you'll be losing on a lot of marks because everything is covered in the question paper. All chapters. There is no specific weightage for any chapter. Every chapter has equal weightage. Questions, of course, there'll be 1 markers, there'll be 2 markers, there'll be 4 markers also. especially the long answers like reading comprehension. You have to read a lot and then answer 4 bits of questions. Now, in those 4 bits, you might not be having only multiple choice. You might have to write one-line answers. That is also possible. So it's kind of semi-subjective. Okay? Okay, Hera, yes, we've discussed. Okay, Dhyanesh, all the best. So now, this is a very important slide because this is kind of telling you what it should not be. Okay, because till now we've always been discussing what it should be. It should be relevant, it should be accurate, it should be short, it should be precise, it should be crisp, it should be clear. We've discussed all that. But what it should not be, that is always a question mark. So I'm doing the reverse way of studying today. It should not be a simple outline because I don't want you to give me an outline of the text. I rather want you to tell me what is there in the text. So all that is there inside that given text should be put in your own words in the Pressy. Second, it should not just be a collection of phrases and sentences because last time when I was seeing some of you were doing it, you kind of just picked up sentences and then you put them together and then you gave me an answer. Don't do that. You will not get marks. Okay. Assuming it's a 4-mark question, if you want to score at least 3 out of 4, which is like a good score, you have to be very, very sure about the style you are using in your writing, the accuracy of the content which is there in the question, and how are you putting it back in your answer. And there is a title, there is a shortened version. Only a very good, well-written Pressy will get 4. Otherwise, you stand a chance only between 1 to 2 to 3 because there is a mark specially designated for each aspect. For example, you will get 1 mark if your title is there and it is relevant. If there is a title but it is not relevant, we can deduct half. Then moving on to the Pressy. If you have written it in a shortened version, the length is perfect, you will get half for that. The choice of words is good, you will get half for that. Your expressions are creative, you will get half for that. You have included all the relevant information from the question, you will get half for that. You have been accurate and the order has not been changed, you will get half for that. So keeping in mind all these aspects, there is a mark for everything. Okay, got it? So please remember, don't take it easily. Don't give me summaries. Don't give me essays. Don't give me articles. Give me what is asked in the question. And after 3 classes, I am sure you are somewhere more confident than what you were when we actually started with this. Okay? Anything you want to ask me, please go ahead. Things are pretty self-explanatory on the slide, so I don't want to waste time repeating the same content, reading it out. If there is a doubt in anything you want to ask, there's a doubt in anything which I'm showing on screen and you're kind of not clear, please go ahead. Is it okay, everybody? Okay. Now, moving on. Now, today I'm going to talk about what is not to be done. So the previous slide was talking about what a Pressy should not be. It should not be a collection of sentences. It should not be illogical. It should not be disconnected. Now I'm going to the second part, what to avoid in a Pressy. Is there anything you want to ask? I'm still waiting because otherwise I'll move ahead. If you think I'm going a little fast, you can tell me. I'll slow down. We'll take things more easily. Is it okay? Can I move on? Okay, fine. Great. Okay, thank you, Ankit, Hera, Priyanka. Okay, thank you, Chandan. So all clear. Great, that's good. Okay, now what to avoid in Pressy writing? Now, the first is very obvious. We always say don't write anything extra. Now, that extra is nothing but extra information, because I'm not supposed to add any information from my side. Even if I know about the topic and I'm pretty confident, don't add anything. Because what happens is, if that's not part of the question, Even if you are correct, even if you are factually right, you will not get marks for it. So marks depend only on the perfect presentation, not on anything extra, not on anything less. Second is your personal opinion. So personal objective perspectives, your point of views, you're feeling angry about something, you really look up to something, all those phrases and words, I think, I like, I opine, I believe, I understand, I comprehend, these phrases out of question, because these are words and phrases which we use to express personal opinion. Third line, I. It's not at all I. There is no need for an I, because we are not doing it in first person. We rather do it in third person because it's a reported speech. You are reporting somebody's ideas in some way. So no use of personal pronouns like I, we. I, we, he, you, he, she, it, they. All these are pronouns, but personal pronouns, first person personal pronouns, we are not supposed to use. Me, mine, I'll just maybe put that here. Okay. These are some of the personal pronouns. First person personal pronouns, don't use this. Even this, possessive pronouns also. Okay. So no personal first person pronouns to be used. Then a straight copy paste. This is what somebody has been asking. Many of you have been asking, can we take words from the passage? Can we use our own words? You can use your own words. You can take a word or two from the passage, but a straight copy paste, not allowed. Okay. I don't want to see you only picking the good stuff and putting it in the answer. Then where is your skill of writing a Pressy? Then anybody can do it. It's just that you have picked out of 10 lines, you'll pick 3 and you'll put it in the answer. That doesn't make a good Pressy. So if I really want you to know what it is, you have to be very particular about what words to change, how to talk about those words, what is the best substitute for those words. Then you write something and you straight away write the final draft in the answer sheet. If you think you need a rough draft, then you can use some right side column, but that's not going to be marked. Okay. And last of all, the tone or the mood of the author. Now, the tone of the author is many. There are many ways of finding out tones of the author. I'll put it here in case some of you don't know, because there are some specific words which we use when we have tone of the author. So I'll put it somewhere here, I guess. Okay, so I'm just giving you some examples of tones, because sometimes, there is no option, but you still have to tell me what are the tones. So it can be funny, it can be heavy, it can be ironic, it can be playful, it can be serious, it can be sinister, it can be threatening, it can be airy, it can be comic. So these are some names I'm kind of, etc. This is like a rough list I'm telling you. These are some words which we can use for tone of the author. Okay. So similarly, there are words which we can use for style of the author. So I'll give you some words for style also. That will make things easier. Okay, I think I'll put it here somewhere. Okay, so these are some styles of the author. So whenever there is a question on tone or style, you should be able to differentiate between the two. Mostly you will get choices from those 4 choices you have to select. But in case you don't have choices and you have to comment on the style or the tone, then you should be able to give me some good words. This is persuasive. I'll tell you. Ironic, sinister, condescending. Ankit, I didn't get your question. All things avoid, so what will be right in the Pressy? We are going to write whatever we have discussed, no? In the last 3 classes, what have I been discussing? You're going to write that in a Pressy. I'm not asking you to avoid anything. This is something which is very personal style of writing. That's why we avoid this in a Pressy. Fine? Now, a sinister tone is kind of an evil tone. When you have a villainous attitude, when you have something to feel jealous and evil about, then we use a sinister tone. Condescending is a very arrogant tone. You have a superiority tone about yourself. You think whatever I know is correct. You always have this attitude of being superior and commanding. That is a condescending tone. Airy is, very light-hearted, very superficial. It's just like air. There is no weight, though air has weight, like scientifically. But in terms of an airy language, we say, we don't know. It's just like, very light in its style. It's not heavy at all. It doesn't leave an impact on us. It's just for pleasure reading. That is airy. Okay, Bhumika? Is it clear? Yeah, so Priyanka is saying styles are descriptive, assertive. Yes, very good. I've put the styles on the left side, the tones on the right side. You can have a look. Okay, I just now told you the other Priyanka and Bhumika. Is it clear? So I've described the tones also. So these words, I'll just put it here in case there is any confusion because, okay, so these words which I have written, they are the tones. Okay, and these ones on the left side which have IVE kind of an ending, descriptive, informative, etc. These are the styles. There are many more. It's not that this is the end. I've just given you a couple of them. If you go through your reading comprehension presentations and your study material, you will get to know many more styles and tones. Okay, anything you want to ask here? Any doubt? Because this is more about personal opinions. This is more about no usage of first-person narratives. Can I clear this? I hope you don't want to note down anything. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a sample Pressy which I would like all of you to do. I'll discuss it stepwise later. I'll give you the draft also. And then there's a second example. So I have a lot of examples today which I want you to do, like at least 4 to 5 examples. One we'll do right now. You can take your time, take at least 10 minutes, read it carefully, write down the Pressy. Please see what is important, what is not important. Why do you think a particular word has that much of importance? Also, whenever you're doing a reading, please remember, if there is any word which you are unaware of, straight away refer to a dictionary and get to know the meaning then and there. Don't postpone. Procrastination never makes a smart person. You always keep postponing that, okay, I'll see it tomorrow, I'll check for a day after. That day after and that tomorrow never comes. So the first rule in the subject of learning vocabulary, in the subject of improving vocabulary, is the moment you see a word which you don't know, there should be this this kind of a craving in you that, oh my god, I don't know the word, let me just quickly check it. Even if your time is getting your time is passing by and you think you won't be able to complete the passage, So in the exam, of course, you don't have a dictionary, you're not supposed to refer, but when you're practicing at home, then please refer to a dictionary just then. Okay? So I won't waste much time. You can quickly see what it is. So I'll be quiet for 2 minutes, read the passage, understand it, and of course, then you will tell me the Pressy. Sinister is evil, Ankit. Okay. Ankit Prasad, see, I know there are problems. Maybe it's the language problem, but it's so good that you ask. I'm always glad when people come up with their doubts and you kind of do the effort of clarifying your doubts, which is always a step ahead towards success. If you don't ask, then there is no way that you're going to learn. So the very fact that you're asking me and you're trying your best to clarify your doubts is worthy of our appreciation. So very good, Ankit Prasad. Well done. You ask, which means you want to learn, and that itself is half the battle won. Okay, good. Shazeen, this is a very general question. No? How should I score good marks? I think everybody wants to score good marks. Nobody wants to pass by just passing marks. So you need to be very good at writing. You need to be very good in your vocabulary. You need to be very good mostly in your writing with good expressions, good words. Only then you can score good marks in BCR. It's a very easy paper. It's a very basic paper. It's a very important paper. The problem is children don't take it with that importance and significance. If you do, then I think you're just going to great. You're just going to be a wonderful speaker. You all look up to such people when you listen to Mr. Shashi Tharoor, when you listen to Mark Zuckerberg, when you listen to our former president, Mr. Abdul Kalam, when you listen to motivational speakers like Sadhguru and Sandeep Maheshwari, when you listen to Gaur Gopal Das, when you listen to Mr. Ratan Tata. So when you look at these people, what do they have? They have a lot of knowledge because they are very well read. And if they are well read, it's not necessary that you're reading only academics, you're reading only subject books. There are many things which you can read and enhance your spoken and vocabulary and communication skills. Okay? Check it in the dictionary, please, Shreya. If you're using a phone or if you're using a laptop, Mansi and Shreya, check it in the dictionary. It will be easier for you to get into that habit because nobody is going to come and tell you the meaning. So that's a request I'm doing. If ever you have a problem with a word, see your understanding. I will tell you the meaning. It's okay with me because I've done this passage. I know the meaning. But then it's not like every time there'll be somebody to spoon feed. So if you're using any device, just quickly go to anything on the net and just ask for the synonym or the meaning of opulence. You will get it. And then see if you can use it. Persuasive is a style of writing where you are kind of forcing the reader to believe. Okay, Chandan? So you want people you're kind of convincing them that my ideology is correct, whatever I'm saying is correct. That is persuasiveness. Okay? Ankit has given me a good title. He says investment in gold. Okay, let's not use on Ankit. Let's use in gold. Bala Sanjana, it depends. Mostly we use reported speech. So in reported speech, it is past tense. Here, if you see, since the text is in present tense, you can also use present tense. So there is not like a fixed tense. It always depends on the kind of text you have read. On the basis of that, we decide the tense. Okay, Hera has given the meaning of opulence. Very good, Hera. That is richness. Yes. Opulent lifestyle, opulent bungalow, opulent. In words, it means richness. So it can be materialistic richness, it can be grandeur, it can be opulent in speaking, it can be having a lot of money. When you see somebody with a big bungalow and flashy cars and flashy lifestyle, we say, he has a very opulent style of living. Gold, form of investment. Okay, Hera. Can you make it more interesting? Because everybody knows that gold is a form of investment, but that's not something new, that's not something I'm telling you for the first time. I guess everybody of us knows. So if I really want to read this passage, uh, sorry, if it's written by you and you really want me to read this passage, what can be a possible good title that forces me to read it? All of you, just give me the title right now. Don't give me the Pressy. I'm waiting. Don't give me the Pressy. I'm repeating. Just give me the title, because since today is the last class for Pressy, I want to go step by step. I want all of you to get full marks in this question. Mostly this is a compulsory question, so you're not supposed to skip it also. Oh my God, there's so many answers also have started coming. Okay, Mayur and Priyanka Cha, you have given me an answer. Valuable gold. Gold is one of the best things of investment. Many people are used in festivals as well as day-to-day life. Day by day, value of gold increased. Mayur, little more hard work, I think. There are a lot of other things which have been discussed about gold in this passage. So what you have said is many people use it as an investment, people use it in their festivals, people use it in their daily lives, and the value of gold has increased. Is it as simple as that? You see for yourself. Okay, so please go through it once more. Gold, a traditional form of investment, that's what Priyanka says, okay. Like other investments, that is FD and stock market, gold also has become a preferred means of investing, okay. Gold prices are regularly at increasing rate, but yet it is not minded every year. Market tools, demands, and supply decides the price of gold. Okay. What do you mean by minded every year? Can you please explain that, Priyanka? What is minded every year? Gold, a sign of opulence. Very good. That's a good title. Sanjay. Yashoda says traditional form of investment, gold. Okay. Investment in good schemes. Shazeen, I don't think so. We're talking about good schemes here. Gold, a scarce metal. It's not scarce, Mansi. Not scarce, a scare metal. I think you mean to say scarce. So the last line is what you took your title from, that it's relatively scarce. So there is a difference. When something is relatively scarce, it's obviously expensive. That's why diamonds are expensive. That's why these rare metals are expensive. But you don't have to focus on the scarcity as much as you have to focus on the usage of gold. Okay, that's why I'm going very slow today. Because all of you have to understand, we are not concerned about the metal being scarce. We are more concerned about the metal being precious. Gold is traditional investments, buying gold. Okay, in India, gold is buying in every occasion, whether it's festival or wedding. Okay, gold prices raise day to day. Okay, fine. Okay, Priyanka, good title. Jyoti, you say investment in gold is tradition. Okay, it's a traditional form of investment. No, we don't say best form. That will be a little Barna. That will be a very subjective answer. So don't say best form. Okay, Bala Sanjana, very good. A precious metal and a symbol of opulence. That's a good title. A precious metal and a symbol of opulence. Very good. Kushagra has come out with a wonderful title. He's put GOLD in capital, and then he has put EN in small, and he says the golden investment where gold is highlighted. Good, Kushagra, very good title, wonderful. Initial COVID, but during initial the prices went up to 50,000. Okay, very good. Yes, good. Kushagra has done a very good job. I'll read out his answer. The golden investment. Before investments were made in securities, they were preferably made in gold. In India, it is used for weddings and festivals as a sign for opulence. With time, gold investments went down, but during initial COVID stages, the prices went up until 550K. As it cannot be consumed, mining rates are low, and thus the market equilibrium is maintained. Wonderful, Kushagra. Very well written. You will get like full marks for this. Priyanka, like oil, gold is not consumable. It's not extracted, minded. Oh, okay. So you, Priyanka, you mean mind, not minded. It's MINED, mind. Okay. A riskless investment. Is it, Priyanka? Is it always riskless to invest in gold? Okay, Tarang, I'll just try and read yours. Study of gold. The importance of gold reverts back in the 20th century. It was observed that buying gold was a sort of investment before fixed deposit stock markets. Since it is not possible to consume gold, all of it is available in the world, even after using it in weddings and jewelry, etc. In July 2020, value of gold hit its peak at 50,000 K due to the lockdown announced in March. What about the rest? What about maintaining an equilibrium? What about the demand and supply? That has been missed, Tarang. Otherwise, it's good. Richness of gold. Okay, Chetan, sorry, that's fine. Okay, Jyoti Jha, I'm reading yours. Gold is traditional investment. Investment in buying gold is traditional part of Indian culture. No. See, we don't say traditional part of Indian culture. Traditional itself means it's culture. So you don't have to use both words. In India, gold is buying in every occasion, whether festivals, okay. Gold prices depends on demand and supply, right? So you need to be a little more careful with your language, Jyoti. I see a kind of a miss, especially in terms of preposition and articles. You need to work on that. Golden stock market, okay, Mayur. Gold investment in golden market. Is it that golden? Everybody's saying gold. Okay, so good attempt. I really liked some of your answers, and definitely you will get good scores for that. I'll show you how it is from my side now. Okay, so you can compare what you wrote and what am I expecting. This is about stepwise Pressy writing. The main idea is the importance of gold as a precious metal, especially in the Indian market. So we know we're not talking about foreign markets. We are primarily concerned about the Indian markets. Okay, that's for sure. That is clear. Then the second point is the use of gold traditionally, because it was used as a source of investment. And then we see a rise in the prices because the metal is scarce. Anything which is scarce will definitely have higher value, isn't it? So since it's a scarce metal, the prices have risen, and then it's a way that we use gold traditionally. How? It's just with investment. Now the titles. So I've given you 4 different titles. The escalating demand of gold, the real investment. So you can put the real in inverted commas. The golden investment, that itself shows we don't have to put anything. This is what I think, Kushagra, you wrote. The economics of gold, because we're trying to understand the demand, the supply, the availability. It's like the supply chain understanding of gold. Hence, I've written the economics of gold. Okay, so you can base your titles around any of these 4. Whatever you have done, I've read them and I've given you a feedback also. Priyanka, how much marks? Well, I don't want to tell you marks like right now. You please practice. Okay, don't worry about marks. Like whatever you guys are writing, you will need some more practice to get a full 4 on 4. That's the personal opinion which I can give you right now. Okay, Shiva, I'll read yours, and Ankit, I'll read yours. Shiva says gold has been one of the conventional forms of investment before mutual funds and stocks. In India, gold had always used in weddings as a sign of wealth. During the lockdown, gold prices have been a constant rise. The demand and supply of gold plays a crucial role. Where does it play a crucial role? And if you see, I can see use of 3 different tenses in your answer. You start with past and then you move on to present. Please stick to one tense. Ankit says investment in gold are traditional form of investment other than FDs. Share markets in India, gold uses the wedding and festivals. It has more precious every time demand of gold are high. Every time gold mined is not very high. This reason for price. Okay. Okay, Ankit, your story is correct. Whatever you have included in your answer is correct. But like I keep telling you, you really need to be careful of your language because there are a lot of gaps in the way you write a sentence. Now, for example, the last one. Every time gold mined, we don't say gold mined, we say mining of gold. Okay? Gold mined is not very high. This reason for price of gold increase. This is the reason why the price of gold increases. Okay, so you have to be very particular with verbs like helping verbs is, are, was, were. Those are missing. Then there are some prepositions missing. Your crux is correct, but your language needs more value. Why invest in gold? Okay, Barna. Gold or tradition? Okay, Delisha. Okay, so Priyanka has written something, and I think Bhumika has written something. Bhumika, I think I'm reading your answer. It's pretty much long. Okay, try and reduce it. I think you've written almost everything in your answer. Try and reduce it, please. Okay. Okay. So let's move. I'll show you. I'll read yours. Don't worry. I'll read yours. I'll show you how and what we do after this. So this is my draft. Sorry. This is what we have done, stepwise Pressy, and this is my draft. A conventional way of investment has been buying gold, especially in the Indian society. A symbol of grandeur and possession, gold has made its way through weddings and investments, especially in the Indian society. With the lockdown imposing a temporary barrier in the gold prices, it slashed to a high of 50,000 in July 2020. In spite of not being a consumable product, the pricing of gold follows the simple rule of economics: less supply leads to higher prices. Okay. Now you tell me, when you compare your answer and my answer, where is the difference and what can be made better? Where is the scope for improvement? I don't deny, maybe when I rewrite it, I can come up with something different. Every time you reread and you re-edit, there are ways of getting better versions. That definitely happens. But when I'm seeing your answers and you guys are seeing my answer, you tell me. So now you see I have used words like a simple rule of economics. That's a phrase which I've put from my side. But it's the same what has been said in the passage. I have just given it in a shortened version. Then when you talk about opulence, I use the word grandeur and possession. Then when you talk about rates increasing, I say rates decreasing or increasing, I've used the word slashed. So this is how vocabulary plays a big role in your answers. And you get marks only when you see there is good vocabulary, only when you see there is proper usage of knowledge. Idioms, proverbs, phrasal verbs, everything has been used. then I can say your answer is good. Yeah, Ankit, you can practice again. See, practicing should never stop. There is no limit to practice. Please practice. Please concentrate on language. Please work hard towards reading. Okay. What is the weightage of difference in law? Kaushik, I didn't get your question. What does this mean? Priyanka, 70% similar, lockdown is missing, yes. So if you miss one or two points, it's okay. I'm not saying that, we're going to compare everything with that. This point is there, this point is there. Mostly that's the way it's checked and expectations happen. If you have covered most of the points, you will get a good score. If you have left half of the points, then you can't expect to get a good score, isn't it? Besides that, if your language is good, you'll definitely get good marks. If you have used incorrect grammar, if you have used wrong vocabulary, all these are reasons why you might lose marks. Okay, so please remember, this is a good practice example. Think of a main idea, then look at all the important points 1, 2, 3, 4 after the main idea. Then try a couple of titles. Once you are sure, this is like a list I have given, okay, because there should be choices. Sometimes I feel the first one is better, sometimes I feel the third one is better. So whatever is better for you in the final go, that should be your answer. And then this is the draft. Okay. Anything which you want to ask me, anything which you want to tell me, because this is something which you really have to study. I've been seeing your answers, I've been reading what all you have written. So remember, language plays a very important role in bringing forward your thoughts. If you are very good in your thoughts, not necessarily you can put it in paper. A good thinker might not be a good writer, and a good writer might not be a good thinker, but a combination of both is like the best combination you can ever have, isn't it? Okay, so this is another sample, Pressy. We'll do this after the break, of course. I don't want to trouble you with so much of writing. Writing is important, and since this is a pen and paper kind of an exam, please try practicing with a pen and paper. Right now, I know it's a little difficult. You have to use the chat box, you have to put it in the comments. But when you practice on your own, please use a pen and paper, because that's the way you're going to realize how your writing is, whether it's like, legible handwriting, whether I can read your stuff, whether the words are making sense, whether, let's say, your speed is perfect. There are many things. Okay. So please work on that. We'll take a 5 to 7 minute break, and then of course I'll resume the session, and we'll do one more example, and I'll do it very slowly, because this is like a practice. I don't want you to practice 5 Pressy in 1 hour. Even if you do 2 Pressy in 1 hour, for me it's quite good enough. Okay. Yeah. How much can you say out of 100%? Including facts are okay. Yes, Tarang, including facts is correct. See, right now I'm not in that mode that I read your Pressy and I give you a score. So please, I request, or if you don't expect a score right now, I'm reading most of your answers. I'm trying to give you a genuine feedback about what will an invigilator feel, or what would a paper checker feel when he or she reads, of course. The rest, you tell me. If you have any doubt, we can discuss. Okay, so we'll take a short break. I'll see you in around 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll continue. See you. Okay, good afternoon, students. Welcome back after the break. We are doing a final session on Pressy writing, which is a very important aspect of your exam, the BCR exam, and even otherwise when you go ahead in office and where there are places where you have to write and give me a shortened version. That's where Pressy actually plays a very important role. Okay. Now everybody's saying, please read my Pressy. I'm trying my best to cover up all the answers. So give me a minute. I'll share my screen. In the meantime, all of you can start doing the next example. And I will, of course, read whatever answers you have written. I think Mansi, Archana, and Bal Sanjana, you guys have to want. Okay. You all want me to read your Pressy? Bal Sanjana, you don't have to write a draft. I'm telling you again, only direct answer is okay. Don't write the draft. This is the final draft. So only a final draft is expected. Okay. This is your next question for a sample Pressy. Please read properly, concentrate on facts. Look at the choice of words. Look at the tone of the author. Is he informing? Is he accusing? Is he persuading? Is he just giving it an airy comment? Is he being very arrogant about his thoughts? What is he trying to do? Why is he telling you this? Is it kind of a descriptive passage? Is it an explanatory passage? Keep all that in mind. Read it carefully, one by one, all words. Take 10 minutes. Then give me a title first. Okay, don't jump to the Pressy. I'm repeating, I will not read anybody's Pressy. I want only the title first. Okay, once I go through your titles and once I have a discussion, then you can start writing your Pressy. Got it, everybody? Okay. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to read your answers for the last question. You guys can read this sample and read it very, very slowly. Okay, Ankit Kumar, I'll tell you your problem first. The last time where you say gold is used to repair and replace teeth, was that given in the passage? No. So you cannot use that information. Fine. So straight away when I see some extra information, I'll deduct marks. Mansi and Sanjana, your answers are good, like very close to perfection, but you can still work. So you will definitely get a good score. Just make sure your language in terms of your tenses, that's correct. Okay, I've read. Archana, I'm reading yours now. Okay, so Archana, you've written the crux of the story very well, the crux of the main content, but you have to work on your language. Fine, I'll tell you why. Just give me a minute. See, suppose you've written the last line, more people demand gold, more the rises in prices. So the rise itself means there is an increase. So you don't say more the rise. Rise means rise. Okay, rise in price for gold and vice versa. Now it's not vice versa. We don't put that in economics. So this is more about a supply chain. moment something gets scarce or the demand is less, prices rise. You don't say more rise in price. Fine. Then you say you've written prices of gold are up and down continually. Okay. Prices of gold go up and down continually. Go up and down. So if I see some lack of words and if I see some disconnect in the sentence, I would definitely deduct marks. Me or whoever is there, or whoever on this earth is checking any paper in language, which is like communication or which is about reporting or which is about language expressions, if you don't see a well expressed language sentence, then the first thing is you feel very disheartened. Oh my God, this child has not even written proper English. So then the thought of moving on to the next step of checking whether he or she has written a good Pressy or a good summary or a good note making, that itself doesn't come. I'm telling you from a teacher's point of view. So when I see some good language in answers, you automatically feel, oh yes, this child has really worked hard. Okay? Okay. So Shiba, Kushagra, Ankit, Archana, Mayur, and Shiba again. Shiba has given 2 answers. The title, blockchain, digital ledger. Okay. All to know about blockchain technology. Okay, Kushagra, all what you want to know about. Isn't that some kind of an incomplete answer? I think Kushagra will say all to know about blockchain technology. Then Ankit Prasad says blockchain of cryptocurrency. Okay, good. Archana says cryptocurrency versus normal banking. Good. Mayur says crypto digital currency. Fine. Shiba again says Bitcoin. Okay. So you've got the crux. This is about crypto. This is about Bitcoin as one of the crypto. This is about digital currency as compared to normal, paper currency. And it is going to take you a lot into detail about the blockchain technology, the way crypto operates. Okay, so your answers are good till now. Shiba, Kushagra, Ankit, Archana. Kushagra, you just tell me if there is that, is it a typo or that's what you meant when you say all to know about blockchain? I think there is something missing. Peer-to-peer money, okay. Okay, great. Great, Archana. Great, Mansi. Thanks. Investment in crypto, Mayur says, okay. There are 2 Mayurs, let me tell you. And there are 2 Ankits and there are 2 Priyankas. So if I'm naming somebody, whatever comment comes on my screen earliest, I'll just, the latest, I'll speak on that person. So don't get confused if I'm naming you and you haven't done that. It might be the other person. Okay, so I think the title is clear. Cryptocurrency, a new blockchain in the picture. Cryptocurrency moving towards digitalization. Cryptocurrency, the digitized form of currency. Currency, crypto or normal. All that we should know. Okay? So these are ways of making the title more creative. You don't have to write the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. You don't have to talk about consensus in the title. You don't have to talk about nodes in the title. You don't have to talk about blocks, but you might use the word blockchain because that's the technology on which cryptocurrencies work. Okay? Shazin, only Bitcoin will not be good because Bitcoin is a kind of a cryptocurrency. There are others also. There's Ethereum also. Fine. So I think it will be better if you keep it more generalized than just talking about Bitcoins. Mansi, it's not versus. Cryptocurrency uses the blockchain technology. So we are not comparing the two. There is no comparison between crypto versus blockchain. The two are very much gelled together. Crypto works on blockchain. Okay, fine. Okay, Kushagra. No, I mean, incomplete sentence, I get it, but not that it should appear as if it's wrong English. All to know. I mean, that looks like all to come here, all to assemble in the ground, all to move in the library, all to move towards the playground. It looks like an announcement. So I thought maybe the word that is somewhere missing. So all that one should know about blockchain technology, maybe. Huh. Versus normal banking is okay. Priyanka, no. A long list of information, nobody will read. The moment you say it's a long list, I'll say, okay, let's leave it. No, I don't want to read the long list. Don't make your reader feel averse to what is written. Make your reader feel want to read what you have written. Okay, I think we've discussed the titles enough. Let's start reading the passage now. Yeah, Shiva, you've written already. You've given me 3 titles. It's okay. So you can stop with the titles now. Shazin, that's more like a statement. The world is moving towards cryptocurrency. That can be one of your lines in the passage rather than that line being a title. Isn't it? You tell me. See, you always are asking me. I think you guys are smart enough. You read newspapers, you read magazines, you read textbooks at least. So when you read these things, what do you see in them when there is a title, when there is a subtitle? How do you think it's there? That makes the difference. You know it very well. You've been reading books since school. You've been reading your course related books. You've been reading books on direct and indirect tax. You've been reading books to clear your foundation. So there, how do you see? How is a title written? How is a subtitle written? How do they start with a certain topic? How do they end? What is the conclusion? You got it? So you for yourself can analyze where are you going wrong and what is going wrong. Good. Thank you, Kushagra. Very good, Mansi, if you've done it in your notebook. Peer-to-peer money, yes. I think Shiba is on a spree of giving titles. She's given like 4 to 5 titles till now. Okay, Shiba, all of them taken. Thank you. Okay, there's a third Mayur also. Wonderful. So we have 3 Mayurs in class. Okay, Vansh has suddenly come up from somewhere. Vansh, you weren't there till now. Description of blockchain technology. Okay. Shouldn't you think, don't you think there should be the word crypto in the title? Because crypto is what I want to talk about more than blockchain. Isn't it? Vansh, do I want to know about how blockchain works in terms of describing blockchain? Or do I want to know about what is crypto and how does crypto work using blockchain? You get the difference? That's okay. Bal Sanjana, new currency in market crypto, fine. Only saying future currencies, what? I won't say what is future currency, but if you tell me at least a name, if you give me a colon or a semicolon or a hyphen and you write something after future currency, then I think maybe I can, give you some marks for the title. Okay, now all of you leave the title. In the next 10 minutes, I'm giving you enough time. I'm not in a hurry. I'm giving you 10 minutes. Please read this passage and give me a Pressy. I will not be doing any more sample practices now. This should be my last sample. 2 samples in an hour is pretty much okay. Then I'm giving you the answer. And I'm giving you some questions which you can do on your own. If you want to do them in class, well and good. If you don't want to do them in class, you can do them as a practice. Okay, just tell me quickly, should I show my version of it? Okay, because this is a sample. So on second thought, what I thought is I'll show you my version. And there are 2 more questions for which I don't have the answers ready. I can check yours and tell you. So let me do that. Okay, so cryptocurrency and blockchain. That's one title which I've given, which is like simple, or understanding cryptocurrency and blockchain. So the moment you say understanding, I feel, okay, yes, this guy is going to tell me what is crypto and what is blockchain. Now you see my answer. See the way the Pressy has been written. Designed by Satoshi Nakamoto. So I've straight away first line, first phrase only I'm mentioning who actually designed it. Okay. Blockchain technology has made its way in the use of cryptocurrency, which precisely works on the DLT, which is the full form is given. Groups of information known as blocks are added to the database, which combine to form a blockchain. So obviously, when you collect a lot of blocks, they become a blockchain. Interestingly, information on the blockchain is permanent. A consensus of a network of computers known as nodes allows more information to be added in the blockchain, thus making cryptocurrency different from normal banking. So what is my main idea? I want to tell you how does crypto work and how does blockchain work. Crypto is a kind of currency which uses the blockchain technology. Who designed it? The name is there. It works on which technology? The DLT, that is there. How do these blocks occur? That is there. What happens when a lot of blocks occur? That is there. A consensus shows that information can be added, and this is how crypto is different from normal bank. Okay, Shreya, anything else here you want to ask, or I'll take you to the questions, the final questions. I've shown Jyoti and Yashoda, that's why I'm showing. Okay, well attempted, Tarang and Delisha. You don't have to explain the meaning of the word consensus, Delisha. That's not part of the Pressy. And it wasn't drafted, it was designed by Satoshi. Draft is when you're writing something, design is for a product, and draft is like who drafted the constitution? Mr. B.R. Ambedkar drafted the constitution. So we don't draft it if you're writing, only then you use the word draft. Tarang, one fact which you have to really work on is it's not the consensus which makes crypto different from normal. It's more about the consensus of a network of computers. Okay, so a lot of computers which are like maybe linked with each other, maybe through a LAN process. That's what makes crypto different from normal banking, where you have all the computers to say a yes. Okay. Okay, well attempted, Ankit. Good attempt. I can see you improving. Good. Language is something which you cannot improve in a day, so I can still see that there is some kind of improvement. Yeah, great. Okay. Now that I've shown you mine, you don't have to write on this. It's okay. I'll take you to the next question, which is try this yourself. Fine. So this is one slide, and then this is the second one. Often we can't see obvious things. This is a very interesting topic, so I request all of you read it carefully, attempt it like a final question as if it's appeared in your exams, give it a title and give it a Pressy. Okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is about 12 lines. I don't want more than 5, 6 lines. I'm so excited to see the titles coming from your side, so I'm eagerly awaiting. Please read the passage. Priyanka Dikshit, I think. It's a very long Pressy. Such a long Pressy. Please cut it down. Yeah, Shiva, I'm just reading yours. Okay. Does it tell you about the digital current? Was there this word? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, good, Shiva. Well done. Correct. Now, please forget crypto and move on to magic and magicians. And I want a good, well written answer as if you all are aspiring to get a full mark. I want that. Unless that spirit comes, you will not score good. I'll read, Priyanka. I'm reading. Priyanka, good, but I think you've just stated the lines. I need to see some connection. Like, the last line you say consensus make difference between crypto and normal banking. But then you haven't told me what is consensus. It's the consensus of network of computers, not my and your consent. Okay? So please rewrite it sometime later, Priyanka. Not a supernatural power, but practice. Okay. Delisha has written, okay, so Delisha has given me two answers. Magic and magicians, very good. That's the easiest. Good. Not power, but practice. Wonderful, Delisha. Very good answers. Very good titles, in fact. I'm still waiting the others. Just give me a title, okay? Don't straight away start with the passage, the Pressy. Give me a title first. Only titles, please. A wizard, okay. Shiva, but are they talking about a wizard only? A science or psychology? Priyanka, good. Mystery behind magic, Sabrine, well answered. Archana says magic behind magician's magic. Okay, isn't that too many magic behind the magician? That's enough. Magician's magic becomes a little too confusing. What about the others? Ankit, where is your answer? Hera, where is your answer? All the three Mayurs, Bhumika, Mansi, Tarang, Jyoti, Yashoda. Where is Kushagra? Where is Vansh? Where is Shazeen? Where is Hera? Where is Licha? Where are your answers for this title for this? Tricks of Magicians, a Wizard, Illusion Creator. Very good. Vidhi. Okay, Vidhi has come up suddenly. Magicians and Our Belief. Is it Our Belief in the passage? Science or psychology, trickery with our brains. Okay, Tarang, that was interesting. Sabrine says mystery me, and okay, I've already read that. Okay, so a good answer for this will be magicians and their magic. Magic and magicians, not power but practice. Magic, a science or psychology. Good. Tricks of the magicians, trickery with our brain. Illusions and not magic. Okay. Then art of magic. Okay, that can be a good answer, Priyanka. Wizard magic? No, not really. Magic, the magician. Ankit, magic is not the magician. Scientific magician, visual of. Oh, okay, Ankit, well tried, but you need to practice more. Okay, so we are not talking about the magician, like scientific magician or visual magician. We are not doing that, Ankit. Okay. So I have told you some of the good titles. Now start writing the Pressy. All of you quickly. This is like two questions, which is like a do or die, this one and the next one. If you do these two correctly, then you are definitely getting a good score in your exam. Please do these two really with dedication and good understanding. Okay, what is magic truth revealed? Fine. A wizard is an illusion creator. Okay. Mansi, I don't know if I've read yours. I'll just check. No, I don't think so. I've got your answer for this, Mansi. Omvati says brain lag, brain game, brain magic, brain mechanism. Okay. Magicians and tricks. I think, Swaroop, we can make it more interesting. Okay, now enough with the titles. Give me the Pressy, please. I'm waiting, and still waiting. Give me the Pressy quickly. Often we can't see obvious things that are right in front of us. Most of it involves a lot of appearing and disappearing, and scientific research has shown how easily magicians are able to trick us. So the whole idea is that magicians are tricking us. It's just there in front of us, but we are forced to look at the other side of it and not to look at what the magician is doing. Magicians don't have supernatural powers after all, but they're experts at exploiting powerful and surprising limitations in human cognition. Cognition is to be aware of it, to recognize it. The word recognize comes from cognition. Cogno is to know. So human knowledge has limitations, and that limitation is what the magicians make use of. Our eyes can only see clearly in the center area of our visual field. This means we can only see one thing at a time. To see more objects in our environment, we actually have to move the eyes around a couple of times a second. But each time we move them, our brain needs to attend to something new, creating a lag of about 1/10th of a second. Our brain fills in those gaps based on what it expects will happen. So when I'm supposed to see something like, I'm reading here and I'm seeing the word yourself, I can't read the other things, but I can just make out, there is a word obvious, there is a word see, there is a word front somewhere, but I can't understand. So when I'm reading something, I'm focusing on one thing, my brain is also focusing there, my eye is also focusing there. If I need to see two different things on the left and two different things on the right, I need to move my eye. Now, when I move my eye, there is a lag because my brain was still there. My eye will move faster than the sense of my brain. So that 1/10th of a second lag just makes me think that, okay, maybe this is what I'm going to expect. So the expectation comes in the brain, but that might not be really true. Okay, it's just that I think the passage after think, it will be a full stop. I think if I say, where are you? Mostly I'll feel the question is going. Where are you going? So that's part of my expectation. That's what I think will come up as a word. It's a wonderful passage. I mean, this is something which is like knowledge for all of us. Okay, Kushagra has given illusion entrancing vision. As magic mostly involves appearance and disappearance, researchers show that magicians can easily trick us. Good. Void of supernatural powers, magicians exploit the limitations of humans. This is so because we can only focus on one thing at a time, and we have a mental lag of 1/10th of a second, which the brain tries to fulfill through expected events. Very good, very good. Last line is really good. It just covers up everything in one line. Omvati, science of magic, good. Okay, Priyanka, magicians performing the magic of appearing and disappearing is not supernatural power. Instead, it happens due to the time lag which our brain needs to see multiple objects. Very good. And meanwhile, our brain shows us what we expect to see. This says the scientist. Have the scientists said that? Remove that last line about saying the scientist, otherwise it's perfect. Okay. So till now, I've got good answers from Priyanka. And I've got a good answer from Kushagra, and I'm still waiting for the others to answer. And if you're not sending me the answer in another 2 minutes, I'm not reading it also. Okay, between a Pressy and a summary, I've given you various samples where I have written the Pressy and I've shared the answer straight away. I really wish you have come to a point where you don't have to think much about how to write. Okay, Delisha, I'm reading yours. Um, okay, Delisha, fine. Yours is also good. Well explained. Okay. So this is one passage which I just thought, even if you don't attempt a Pressy, I'll be happy if you read it because we see magic around and we don't know how exactly magic happens. So I'll move towards the next passage now, which should be the last part of the class because I don't want you to be continuously doing Pressy. That kinds of makes your brain monotonous, and then there is there's a stalemate happening inside, and we fall short of ideas. I'm unable to express myself creatively if I do the same thing again and again and again and again within an hour's time. Okay, I'm reading two answers, Tarang and Mayur. I'm reading your answer. Trickery with our brains. According to scientific research, our eyes can only focus on the center. Okay, fine. This takes 1/10. However, magicians are able to avoid tricks. Very good. Able to preach our invitations. Yes, good, Tarang. Well written. Very well written. Very well explained. It shows, okay, Mayur, I think you've missed out on many things. What about the technical aspect of the 1/10 second gap? Isn't it? What about talking about the expectation which our brain starts creating that, okay, now that I know it's going to take time, let me just expect what's going to happen. Okay. So Mayur, you can little bit work out and then your answer needs to be a little bit longer. Okay, guys? Fine. Now I'm taking you to the next and the final one. This is the last practice I'm doing today, and I don't want you to miss it. After that, it's just quick tips, and there's a beautiful thank you. So please concentrate on this. This is an important passage in terms, it's a difficult passage than the first one because it's about mining bills. Maybe you've read about it if you read newspapers. Okay, Sabrine, I'm reading yours. Meantime, all of you move on to this last sample question of India's new mining bill. Okay, good. Sabrine, fine. Well attempted. Hera, don't use the word consists of. Magic is about appearing in discipline. Consist means it's made up of. Includes is better, yeah. Involves is better, very good. Okay, Ankit, very good, well attempted. Priyanka Cha, it's not a Herculean task to see right things in front of us. I think Herculean is a much more stronger word, and it's used for a task where you require a lot of effort. So do you really require that much amount of effort to see things in front of you? Priyanka, you need to work out. Hira, I think I read yours. No, I've read yours, Hira. It's perfect. Good. Well attempted. Bhumika, it's a little short. I think you can add more information because it's pretty short. You need to talk about more of that scientific aspect of 1/10 of a second and the way you blink and then what your brain expects happens. Okay? Okay, quickly come to the last question. It's coal mining. Which state is it done? What are the miners' routine? How is the mining bill affecting somebody? And what is the provision of the mining bill? What is seeking? There's so many things happening here. So two things, if you can see, I can see somewhere affected by the devil could lie in detail. The proposal has 3 defects. So I want those 3 defects to be mentioned in your Pressy. First of all, remember that. Then, it's talking about it's talking about a new mining bill. So that should be your main point. Then it talks about the 2 defects. You have to talk about that. Then the last paragraph, the largest miners are actually power, steel, and other metal makers. That's squat on large captive mines. So you're telling me a fact in terms of the Indian geography and in terms of who are India's largest miners. So something which says current royalty rates revised every 3 years are pathetically low. That is an important point. You can mention that also in your Pressy. More content from the first paragraph, less from the second. It's okay, Bhumika, don't worry, no worry. You guys are all still stuck at magicians. Let's move over magicians now. I'll read your answers and I'll send you a message. Right now, can we please move on to the last passage? The mining bill, please. I have read most of your Pressys. Mansi, I've read yours. The true face of the mining bill. Okay, do you aware about new mining bill? Are you aware about, Archana? India's new mining bill. Okay. Rural people affected by mining. Ankit, it's not just mining, it's about the mining bill. Okay, there's a difference. I'm not talking about the profession, but I'm talking about a document, a bill, which takes care of the miners. Miners as in not MINOR, this is MINER. That's like a homonym. The spellings are different, but the pronunciation is same. What's the difference in these two? Can you see the 2 words I've put on the screen? Yeah, coal mining, exactly, Shiva. What's the difference between these two? Any answers coming? Minor, ER, and minor, OR. You can simply give it a title as India's new mining bill. It's okay. That would be like very simple. You can give that. Defects in the mining bill, concerns in the mining bill. You can write something like that also. Provision for mining workers, okay. Rural people affected by mining bill, okay. Simply coal mining cannot be the title, Shiba. If that was your title, then you need to write something more in the title. Okay, so let me just tell you, the topic here is the mining bill. It's not about mining as such. It's more concentrating on defects of the mining bill. That's why you have to work on that. Secondly, they are giving you the defects 1, 2, 3, so you can mention them in whichever way you want to in terms of changing the language, but you cannot change the defects. That you have to mention the way it is. Exactly, Archana. Minor means below 18, MINOR, and MINER is one who works in mines. It can be gold mines, it can be coal mines, it can be diamond mines, but yes, we call them a minor, MINER. Beneficiary of mining bill. Uh, I think, Ardhendu, you mean benefits of mining bill? India's new mining bill, Mansi, is correct. Okay, have you understood the passage? Now, the second question. Have you all understood the passage? You all have given me a title, but before that, I need to know, is this kind of a language okay for you? Are you able to grasp what the passage is saying, what the author is saying? Defected contribution towards rurals, India's new mining bill, okay, sir. Green, royalty of coal, very good. Defects of new mining bill, okay, Bhumika, okay, Ardhendu. Fine. So all of you have understood the passage. I'm taking that as a yes. All of you are coming up with very good attempts for titles. Wonderful. I'm happy with that. I clap for you in that regard. I think you guys have been so brilliant that every class I've definitely clapped once or twice, if not for everybody, at least for some people, but all of you are doing very good. My heart goes out when I see you practicing so very dedicatedly, attending the live session, giving me your answers, asking me doubts and asking me for feedback and insisting that I read your passage. It gives me a feeling that you all are working hard towards the subject and you definitely will score very good for your BCR paper. Okay, good. New mining bill and drawbacks. Okay, aspects of new mining bill. Okay, Vipul, good. So what I want to do is you do this as a practice on your own. Try this yourself because that's what the title says. I won't ask you to do it because all of you are taking time and I don't want you to hurry. There is no hurry. There is ample time. Practice makes a man perfect and practice as much as possible. So after the class, once you see the video rerun, you can stop at this moment and write a Pressy and please follow all the protocols and all the tips which you need in a Pressy. Okay. This is the last slide of the day. These are some quick tips which I tell every student when they appear for an exam. Now I know there are going to be doubts. Why did I write a draft? I write a rough draft because sometimes writing a rough draft helps me express better, helps me edit my older versions, helps me come up with a better answer, a finer answer. Okay, so you don't have to write a draft. This is a tip. A tip is not a compulsion. It's like a suggestion that if I'm giving you a tip, this is how if you attempt a BCR paper, you're going to get full marks. Maybe it's worth a try, but it's not a compulsion. Okay. So if you think there is space and time and you can do it twice, then you please write a draft. See the rough draft and then start writing your final draft. We are not giving any extra marks for rough draft. Even if you don't write a rough draft, it's okay. It's just to ease your writing. I'm giving this as one of the tips. Okay. Concentrate on the text. Many people I've seen have added information from their own end, like, what is the role of gold? How does gold help? I don't want all that unless it's there in the passage. I don't want you to tell me what you know about gold. That you can do in article writing, that you can do in speech writing, that you can do in diary writing. I don't want it as part of the Pressy. Okay? And the most important thing, differentiate between relevant, irrelevant information. Everything in the text is not relevant. Only 10 lines out of those given text material is what you have to show. Okay, only 1/3. So if you start giving me every line the same way as it has been given in the text, the same way as things are there in the summary, in the question, you will not get marks for it. Okay, so you should be a good filter. You all have drunk filter coffee. You all drink tea sometimes. So we use a strainer for a tea and we use a filter for a filter coffee. Isn't it? You must have done some chemistry related experiments sometime in school. So you put a filter paper cone and then you put some liquid and then how things just filter out. You must have done techniques in school, which is filtration, sedimentation, distillation, etc. Isn't it? So filtration is what you need here. See what is irrelevant, just forget it. Don't even look at that irrelevant material again. Focus only on what is relevant and what you want to include in the Pressy. Okay? Very good, Bhumika. You will definitely be able to do it. Deepinki, I didn't understand what's the question. Answer is not complete, Ankit. It's okay, don't worry. It's okay. I know I changed my screen, so it's not complete. It's okay, no problem. Okay, so I'll just read one. Priyanka has written an answer for this. Loopholes in new mining bill in India. Difference exemption, the companies to evade themselves, sessions to remove these drawbacks to link through multi-global. Okay, good, Priyanka. Well written. Okay. Now, you've gone through the text, the quick tips, all of you. I hope you've gone through. This might sound like repetition. I myself ask people to be very clear and don't repeat yourself and be original and be new every time. But I think I've been repeating everything about Pressy in all the 3 classes we have had. So now that it's going to be a last class, please remember, if you write a rough draft, you are not getting extra marks. For your own benefit, I suggest please write rough drafts. Secondly, you have to concentrate only in the given text. You are not supposed to bring in extra information from outside. You don't have to tell me what you did in class 8 and that's going to be related to your given content. So I thought I'll add it. No extra marks. You'll rather lose marks if there is extra information. Third thing, only include points which you think will make a difference. That's why we say relevant. Fine. Sometimes you feel, okay, this is also important, this is also important, this is also important. In doing so, you give me an essay. And then you forget the fact that I need a brief Pressy. Brevity is important. Brevity means being short and being brief. Okay. And last of all, unless you read, you will not be able to write a Pressy. So don't be smart enough to not read the passage. Then your answer will be wrong. And also follow the same thing for a reading comprehension. If you read a passage completely, only then you can answer the questions correctly. If you read the passage like a skimming and scamming method, you will not get to know the style, the tone, the moves, the title, the meaning of any word, the antonym of any word. That will not happen. Okay. So for any question which is related to reading a particular text, please read it, then come to the questions. So if it's a Pressy, you will be given with some sample text, read it thoroughly, then attempt it, because only then your title and your answer will be correct. Even for note making, you'll be given a passage. If the passage is very, very heavy, your Pressy your notes should also be heavy. Your Pressy will also be heavy. It all depends on what kind of a passage is shared. Okay. So I'll end the session now. Pressy has taken like 3 sessions. So you yourself know the importance of the topic. You know why I'm insisting and stressing on the fact that practice more and more. All of you should sit at home and do some writing practice. All of you should start conversing in English. All of you should read content which you think is adding value to your understanding of the language in terms of good communication. Please avoid using informal words. Please avoid using slangs, and always aspire and aim to get full marks, because BCR we give full marks. Not that it's a language paper, so we don't give full marks like in school boards or in school internal exams. No, if your answer is perfect, because there is always a scope for improvement. We always feel, okay, maybe the third time I write, it could have been a little better. Maybe if I would have replaced XYZ word with something, it could have been a little better. That always remains. So that's not a problem. My only request is, these are very important part of questions, important part of your CA growing up journey also. So it's not that you have to take it from the exam point of view. Even if you don't get a 4, doesn't mean you don't excel in Pressy. Sometimes you don't understand that passage. So it might be a problem with that particular passage. Okay. Well, I've explained everything. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for all your answers. I will definitely upload the file. Word meanings, Ankit, you have to do a vocabulary word list then if you want to learn word meanings. There are many books which are based on vocabulary, synonyms, and antonyms. You have to study that and you have to look at your study material. From there, you will be able to understand word meanings. Brevity means shortness, being brief. Sabreen, I will upload the file, Sanjana. How do you differentiate? Relevant is what is going to help me understand the topic more. Does it really need to be there? Irrelevant is anything which I can easily shun off and I can easily claim to be redundant, so I don't need to put it in the Pressy. That is irrelevant. Okay, you will definitely be able to do it, Bhumika. Okay, so on that note, all the best for all your subjects, all the best for all your exams. I'm going to see you once again for report writing. Thanks for being a wonderful, enthusiastic class. See you soon. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, guys.